All right, let's go two ends here. Good. Good. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go.
And we are joined by Chris Finch, head coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves. And as you continue this journey with this group, let's first talk about end of your season and how it led into the offseason, and starting with the importance of re-signing Julius Randle, Naz Reid. I think that was organizationally very, very important to get those guys back in the house.
Yeah, without a doubt, maintaining our free agents was priority number one. Unfortunately, we weren't able to keep all of them. Nikhil left us, but we feel confident with our young depth to be able to fill those voids. But Naz and Julius, such a huge part of our identity. And we just, really lucky and happy to have them back in the fold.
How did you see Julius get more and more comfortable as the year went on? Obviously, it was a major adjustment,
Sure.
Coming from New York, coming to this situation, playing alongside another big. It was just a little bit different for him. Mm-hmm. How did you see him become more comfortable as the season went on and really find his role in your offense?
Yeah, I think what was key was discovering his playmaking, or really leaning into his playmaking. Created a lot of tempo in the open floor, and then he could flow right into our offense. Kind of played like a point forward for us. His passing came alive. It really unlocked shots for Mike Conley. He was really good with Anthony. Was one of the key contributors to the reason Anthony shot so well from the three-point line, because he got a lot of kick-out looks that he hadn't gotten in years past necessarily. Just gave us a different dimension to our offense. He could score at several ranges, but it was really the playmaking that kind of brought us all together.
And look, you mentioned Anthony Edwards. He's turned into a star talent in this league, obviously. In your conversations with him, or even just in looking at film on him, as you get ready to start another year with him, where's an area where you think that, this is an area I think he can still grab more, even though he's already, become a star in this league?
Yeah, I think it's finishing games. It's having a closing package. It's having an idea. It's being able to draw fouls on demand in clutch situations. It's being able to get to a shot repeatedly that has a high percentage of going in. He does a few things that he can do, but he relies maybe a little bit too much on his three at times in those situations. I think he could be a little bit more dynamic, mixing up, getting to the paint, taking the mid-range, as well as the three.
And I guess that's going to lead to the next question, which is, you guys have been right there. You're in the mix. I mean, you're one of the last teams standing now, a couple years in a row.
Yeah.
What do you think it's going to take to actually get over the hump? And I know how hard it is to win a championship and how loaded the West is, but what is it? What's that next thing, the next evolution for your team to finally be able to break through?
Well, we're banking on internal growth and continuity this year with the way that we have, leaned into, our roster from a year ago and our young depth to help that.
All right, let's go.
It's really about the finer points. We got to be better. All of our habits have got to get 10% better across the board, and we still need guys to take steps. We just talked about Anthony. We think Jaden McDaniels can have another big step in his career development. Julius, I feel like the version that we saw at the end of last year, we need to see right from the jump. We feel Dante DiVincenzo is going to have a really, really good year. He was just starting to find himself before he got injured last year, had a chopped up kind of year. So there's a lot for us to be encouraged about when we look internally, which is, what we're going to have to lean on.
And you mentioned losing Nikhil Alexander-Walker, a big piece for you. I mean, especially defensively, but ate up a lot of minutes as well. Mm-hmm. I'm looking at a couple of young guys on your team, one of whom I love, Terrence Shannon Jr. I just think is this an opportunity for him?
Oh, for sure, yeah. He's earned that. I mean, last year we stuck with a pretty tight 8-man rotation, and we did that for a variety of reasons. We felt we had 8 quality starters, and we needed to try to maximize their minutes and find chemistry with those guys. And unfortunately, it probably took some opportunity away from the young players, but they were able to kind of jump up and help us when we had injuries or get into the rotation when we did decide to lengthen it. And they played really well at the end of the season. TJ had a couple breakout games actually in the playoffs against Oklahoma City. So a lot to be excited for there. This year we're going into the season with a different mindset. We're going to have a longer rotation, 9-10, and these guys are going to be called on to help us win.
Last one for me, just your mentors on your journey in this game. Been doing it for forever, and just some of the people that have really impacted the way you view the game, the way you disseminate that message.
Yeah, I mean, I started coaching so young. A lot of my mentorship was trial and error, to be quite honest. I mean, I watched the NBA from afar. I was in Europe. It was kind of hard to watch on a daily basis. Always loved Mike D'Antoni, just with kind of the changes that he brought to the league. Greg Popovich for the way that he prepared and coached his teams. You try to take a little bit from everybody, but quite honestly, it was a lot of trial and error as a young coach and able to learn in Europe when no one was looking.
Good job, good activity. Whoa.